Now, how was it kind of like following Rufus as he was being very stressed, I imagine, kind of like writing this opera and then also having a film crew kind of like following you around? It must have been, which is a very stressful thing anyway, filming, you know, making a film.
Well, I mean, Rufus is unique amongst many artists that he loves the camera as much as the camera loves him. And that makes it, very easy for someone like me. There's, you don't, I don't remember really Rufus saying no to anything. And, sometimes he'll say, oh, I'm not really keen on doing that. But then you end up doing it somehow or other, and it works. It's just, I don't know. It's, it's very easy to work with.
Thank you. No, I want to say no sometimes, believe me, but I'm just too much of a gentleman. No, it was great. I mean, the other thing that we have to sort of, I think, state is, I mean, I love this film so much, and it's really captures so many aspects of what was going on in so many ways. But one thing also, there was a lot of difficulty with this production. I mean, we later, for this new production at Sadler's Wells, we do have a new director and a new conductor. But Daniel did a great job. But we had to shift things up a bit. And George really was there wasn't a lot of opportunity to film. We didn't get a lot of time. So when George was there, it was really, really great. And George really, was faced with some pretty stiff resistance from some of the people, and he really fought like tooth and nail to get in there and to capture this stuff. There was a very, very, very high chance that none of this would have been captured if some people had their way. So it's really, I mean, I was really waiting with bated breath for him to come and see what was happening to me.
Did it feel like you had an ally then? Is that because it sounds like the process of getting the opera up and running and the director and the conductor might have been quite antagonistic. So did it feel like an ally knowing that George was going to be coming along? And
yeah, I mean, he was an ally, but he was also, I don't know. I mean, it's all, a lot of this is in retrospect, I mean, at the time you're just in crisis mode and you're just doing whatever it takes to get to the next level. And not to mention, as we all know, that my mother was very ill at times, and so it was sort of, I wasn't really, whatever, I just do whatever it took, but when George came in, it was always great.
I mean, one thing I'd like to add, adding on from what I said earlier, there was something that I feel is very, very important in film, and it is really an accident, is the first time I showed this cut of the film to the producer, he sat and watched it and loved it, but said, there's two things going on here. This is very much the story of the making of an opera and Rufus's transition into classical music, but it's also the relationship between mother and son. And that was something that, I mean, completely subconscious. But I mean, I haven't, as you know, probably, that when you're making a film and when you get to your final cut, you've watched it so many times. I mean, I haven't seen the film since just before Christmas when we delivered this version. And to see it tonight, I mean, that's all the more evident.
The first time I heard it, I heard this piece live. The Prima Donna was at a piano rehearsal early on, and I cried a lot, only because I realized that as an artist, and you spend so much of your time kind of deflecting life through your work. Everybody might think that, poets and painters, they must be so emotional, but a lot of that process is about not feeling anything, or protecting yourself and kind of absorbing it into your work. And then really later and that's what I love about opera so much and about working on my opera, is that it was really a chance for me to sit down and hear my emotions kind of, thrown back at me. And I realized a lot about myself through that. I mean, I still would love to make another big pop record and maybe give Lady Gaga a run for her money, which probably won't work. But down the line, no, it's definitely. I mean, once you've been able to work with an orchestra and such incredible artists as that opera singers are, like really trained, incredible musicians, you're pretty spoiled and get the taste for it.